So, how is it like balancing a full-time job and also working at a nonprofit?
I would say if I didn't enjoy it, it would be really hard. It's a lot of time. It's 10 or 20 hours a week, I would say, extra on top of my normal job. I'm also fortunate to have a job that's very flexible, so I'm able to, I take volunteer meetings in the middle of the day, sometimes from work, take volunteer meetings in the middle of the day. My boss knows I'm doing that. He's supportive. He's excited about it. So we also have volunteering time to use on things like that. I've far exceeded that. So I work in other ways to volunteer, but and I work a lot outside of work. Doing things like on the weekends and so forth and after hours. Yeah, like I said before, that's the sort of thing it would be tough if it wasn't something I was so excited about. So I find that you can do a lot more if it's fun than you can do if you're hating it. So because I love doing it and it's fun for me, it's no problem. But if I had to do all this stuff, after hours and weekends and so forth, and I hated it, then I wouldn't, it would wear on me very quickly, and I would not be able to do it. It's kind of like what kind of work energizes you and what kind of work drains you. And for me, this is like energizing type work, so it's not hard for me. I like doing it, and yeah, it's just getting, I have a very busy calendar, let's say that. So calendar management's very important.
Oh, okay. Were there any time that you felt like a little bit tired, like you want to get rest or exhausted? And then like how did you try to handle it? Because high schoolers might need it, like how to manage their stress and like as you said, the calendar schedule. How do you do that?
Yeah. So for the calendar schedule, I just keep a really effective calendar. It's important to, keep everything organized. That makes it much easier to not be stressed out, not be, missing things or concerned about what's coming up. I also say when it comes to volunteering, you can't burn yourself out by volunteering, right? You won't if you don't like it anymore, then it's either not right for you or you're doing too much. So you need to like moderate your level of involvement to what works for you and what's still fun for you. We have a lot of volunteers that volunteer for us, and I'm frequently, saying like, if this is too much for you, let's make it correct for you, because we're a volunteer organization, right? I can get another person to help with something if need be. There's no reason somebody should be like no longer having fun doing it because it's a stressor on them, right? So, and also sometimes I'll ask people, can we adapt your volunteering to your interests? Because um, I can say no, do that thing like as if it's a job, and they're going to be gone very quickly because they're if they're not interested, because you can't force somebody to volunteer in a way they don't want to. So sometimes somebody will be, I can tell somebody's not loving what they're doing anymore volunteering, and I'll say, what would you like to be doing? Do you want to do development? Do you want to do graphic design? Like what is your interest area? Like how do we make sure this aligns with your interests? Because if you're volunteering in a way that is not, you're not at all interested in, you're not going to keep doing it, like no matter what. You need somebody can force you, I guess, to do it, but that's not in the spirit of it, right? Like the best types of volunteering is when you love what you're doing and the organization benefits from it. So I guess that's my main goal. Is I'd rather than rigidly telling them we need you to do this, I'd say how do we make this interesting for you so that you like what you're doing. Ideally in life, if you can work in the same way, if you can work in a job that interests you in the same way, that's amazing as well. Then you've kind of found the right place for you, right? If your job also gives you energy, and if you have a paying job that gives you energy and pays you, that's wonderful. Try to find that and then keep it.
So do you have any particular thing that you like working with these kids, as in like high school students who are like younger than you? It was like two-way communication. How's it? Yeah.
Yeah, the communication is good. It varies from person to person. Some people are really outgoing and love to talk about what they're doing and their hobbies and how they're doing in school and their clubs. And some people are much more like task oriented, like what do I do next, which is fine. Whatever works for them. It varies based on the social style of the people you're working with, how much they want to kind of interact and discuss and learn more, and how much they want to get to the task that they're doing for us. And either one is fine for me, whatever works for them.